Hey guys, today I want to go over the brand new EcoFlow DELTA Pro 3. I've had this for a couple months since EcoFlow sent it to me to use. This is not going to be an in-depth review, but I do want to go over all of the features of it. And I also want to tell you the one major issue that I have with this system. This has a 4,000 watt hour battery that can provide both 120 volts of power or 240 volts of power. Now you can pull 4,000 watts out of it, or for up to 400 milliseconds, you can pull 8,000 watts. But it also has a feature called X Boost, which will let you pull 6,000 watts momentarily out of it. And I've seen people do that for extended periods of time, so that's pretty good. The DELTA Pro 3 does come with a 5-year warranty. However, EcoFlow says that you'll get 4,000 recharges out of this system, and that's good for 11 years of continuous use. If you're familiar with the previous DELTA Pro, you'll notice that this one is far sleeker, way more streamlined looking. I mean, honestly, it really looks fantastic. Let's look at the front screen when you power it on. Gives you all the information you're used to. I mean, I love the way it looks. It's kind of retro video game, kind of sports car looking. I don't know. As you can see, we've got 99% left here and 11 days of use with nothing plugged into it. You've got your input wattage, your output wattage over here. Let's go over the front here and just kind of go over what, kind of what outlets you have. It's got 2 fast charge USB ports, 2 100 watt USB-C ports, 4 120 volt, 20 amp outlets. And you just power those on like that. You got 240 volt power over here. If you want to plug in like your dryer right here, you can do that. This is a 120 volt or 240 volt outlet. Then down here, you've also got the handle if you want to move it around. Coming around here to the side, you open up this door, and if you want to plug your RV in here, you can. It's got a 120 volt, 30 amp outlet, and then that just closes back, super sleek. On the opposite side, behind door number 2, is the DC power. Cut that on. There's a 12 volt power port at the top. There's the remote control port, and then there's the Anderson port on the bottom. On the back, everything's covered up with these doors. Behind door number 1, by the way, these doors do slide in. Kind of reminds me of the DELTA Pro Ultra. So those go out of the way. Here you got your AC port for charging through your wall outlet at home. Also below here, it's got a switch here for fast charging or regular charging. You can adjust that. You can actually adjust that through the app as well. And you can recharge this up to 80% in 50 minutes. Here you've got your solar inputs. One is 1,600 watts, the other is 1,000 watts. So you can get up to 2,600 watts of solar power going into this to charge it. Down here is the power in-out port. And this will allow you to run 2 DELTA Pro 3s together and get up to 8,000 watts of power through EcoFlow's 50 amp hub. Or you can actually plug this into EcoFlow's smart home panel too, and you can plug in 3 DELTA Pro 3s and get 12,000 watts of power. And then here you have your extra battery ports where you can add 2 extra batteries and stack them on top of the DELTA Pro 3. So I know there's gonna be some hardcore people out there that will never switch from gas-powered generators. And those have their place. This is not a total replacement for that. It kind of is, but it's not totally. I don't even use my gas generator anymore. Number one, I have the EcoFlow DELTA Pro Ultra and the Smart Home Panel 2 installed in part of our home. So if the power goes out, I can rely on that. I mean, they're just quiet. I mean, this is 30 decibels. So basically you can't even hear this thing run. It's clean, there's no fumes from it. And I mean, it's just so convenient. The portability of it, it does weigh 113 pounds. EcoFlow did put these kind of padded leather straps on the handles to make it a little bit easier on your hands. But a gas generator is heavy too. Most of the power outages that we experience are, 2 to 8 hours. Why would I go deal with listening to a gas generator run and go outside and have to mess with that whenever I can just plug in any major appliances into a system like the DELTA Pro 3, or I can plug this into my Smart Home Panel 2 and power basically everything, including the AC, for whatever period of time. Now, obviously you can run out of your battery juice on here, but you can plug in your solar panels. You can also charge this with a generator. I'm probably not Delta's main use case scenario for this. I use this for primary power when I'm using my power tools. Our house, whenever they wired our house, they did 15 amp breakers when they could have just done 20 amp. So a lot of times, especially out here in the garage, when I plug in tools, I'll trip the breaker and it's a real hassle. And I don't want to run power cords out to the backyard everywhere. So I can just take this out there with me and power everything and have zero issues. We've done 3 concrete projects out back, and I've used this to power my mixer every time on every one of them, and I mean, it just works flawlessly. But that does bring me to the one issue that I have with this system. This thing is so sleek and so pretty, I just don't want to mess it up, okay? What I wish EcoFlow would do is make a ruggedized version of this, and that would be phenomenal. I used to work on a lot of different job sites, and you get sick of hearing the generators run all the time before power is run to those sites. Something like this is perfect for that because it has a ton of power, super mobile. It's so nice. You don't want to mess it up. EcoFlow, please make a ruggedized version of this thing, and I would think it'll sell like hotcakes. There's a company that I use a lot of their tools, okay, and you pay a red tax for those tools, and they have a battery bank system for powering tools. And it's very misleading, number one, because it's called I think the 7200, 3600, and really what it has is 2500 watt hours, but it's like $4,500. It's an absolute ripoff. This thing destroys that system for much less money. I'm not even positive what the actual final price of this is, but it's nowhere near that. And if I have any coupons or codes, I'll put those in the link below, because I think I'll have a code that will give you either a free 400 watt solar panel or $500 off the cost of the Delta Pro 3. So whatever codes or anything, I'll put those in the description.